Okay. What's happening? Let me try. Okay, let's try it. Okay. What's happening? Oh, right. Looks like I need to stop. Okay, let's do. Uh, what's even happening? Oh yeah. Okay, nice, nice, nice. So stop the stream is actually fix this situation. So let's go.
Progress is currently in the command and control. This is pre-planned to properly align its solar arrays for final approach and docking. This is pre-planned, looking right down the barrel of the Poisk module docking port. That soon will be the port of call for the Progress 94 cargo ship.
So, hello everybody. Let's go and start right now, shall we? All right. So, hello everybody, and good evening here from me, Dennis Suguwa. Right now it's night here in Sarawak in Borneo. It's 9:23:10 p.m. right now here, and yeah, as you have already heard from the earlier stream, and sorry for a little bit of sound loop because I need to do a bit of sound check, but it's all fine. Okay. Fortunately, everything is good, despite that minor problem early on, but that's feasible.
Data in the lower left-hand
Okay,
corner of
so
the
hello everybody, and good
about 172
evening from
meters
me.
separating
Uh,
Progress
I'm
from
Dennis
the
Suga, your host
Poisk
today
docking
for the
port.
stream of
To
the
just about have the nose
prog
approach range
for us to watch the Progress MS-33 spacecraft, the cargo resupply ship finally for today to arrive and docking to the International Space Station. And yeah, for this mission today, we there's a little bit of specialty because let me show you. All right, let me show you the share screen. Yeah, okay,
and
that
the
should
flyer
be good.
is now complete. We're in the period of station keeping.
Okay,
So
I guess I
progress
can
will keep
also.
brakes on as we await further word on
Okay,
the transition to the
okay,
Toru automated rendezvous system
all
that will
right,
be
right.
operated by
So
Sergei
let me go
Sverchkov to
with
fly the Progress in for its
the
docking.
video focus. Okay, this is good. Okay. Okay, so just for your little bit of information, what makes it a little bit special for this mission today, for this Progress MS-33 spacecraft docking, arrival and docking and temp for today, is that instead of the typical system where we see the typical of the how do I say progress and also Soyuz MS spacecraft automatically docking to the International Space Station, it instead docks using this kind of method. As you can see, this kind of docking you're looking right now is the
Sergei
um,
Sverchkov has now taken over manual
is
control
is the
of the rest of the rendezvous.
yeah
So
as you have
progress is under the control of the backup Toru telerobotically operated rendezvous system.
yeah so that's what you hear instead of instead of the automated docking sequence.
We're standing
But
by for the
what happened is that
final
because one
configuration of
of the
station
two
systems.
antenna, the another
Ego was
redundant
given
antenna,
for final
unfortunately
approach.
did not work on the Progress MS-33 spacecraft right after the separation of the after it finally separates from the upper stage of the Soyuz 2.1A rockets, because only one antenna working, the Toru system right now has to be turned on, like you hear it. Toru stands for uh, tele, tele tele something operational robotic unit. Yeah, that Toru system is being for today will be guided by Roscosmos cosmonaut Sergei Sveshkov. I don't know if I properly pronounce his name, but yeah, maybe someday if you yeah, but someday, Sergey, if you might watch my stream, I'm very sorry I butchered your name. It's very challenging for my tongue. I mean, most people here might not have any problem, but for me, my tongue is pretty challenging. Quite not really that good with twisting and whatnot. So this is what you're looking right now. By now, s- by now the tool system kicking in, and right now currently piloted by the cosmonaut, the cosmonaut Sergei Kuznetsov. Yeah. So you want to know what's even funnier when I try to research this stuff about the Toru stuff? Here. Just try look here. Yeah, right now they are currently holding pattern at 200 meters. Here I'm going to show you. Here, you want to know something funnier? Yeah, telerobotically operated rendezvous unit. Yeah, that's actually what it actually calls. Yeah, you want to
Progress
know something that
continues its
the
station
picture
keeping
here?
period.
This is
Russian flight controllers
the
assessing the
cosmonaut
alignment
that actually
of the forward docking probe on
commanded
progress,
this
as
Progress
well as the beginning of
MS-33
the
spacecraft today.
manual
This
flying of the
this person
vehicle once
the very person you are looking
green light is given
here
to
right now
resume final approach for
on the
docking.
picture, this one is this it's the cosmonaut that actually did this. And yeah, as you can see on the tagline, cosmonaut Sergei Kuznetsov practices using the Toru equipment in this Vesda module on the International Space Station. So the you what you see here, this cosmonaut that actually does this practice on the Toru using the Toru system. Yes, this is the one that actually did this, and apparently he looks like he's actually practices this since the last around since the last 30 mission before.
This view once again from
So
the external
looks like
television camera on the progress,
his
showing
practices looks
bird's
like
eye view of the Russian surface of
being
the
put
station.
into real life practice here. So that's a good. Oh, okay. Now final approach begins. Okay, so rather than me going too much, I'll go here directly to the stream.
And the Russian flight controllers
Here
have
you can
confirmed that
see.
final approach is underway,
Okay, the
with
final approach
progress
is
being
on the
flown by
way.
Sergei Kuznetsov to the
Yeah,
30 meter
Sergey
mark. At that point, there'll be
Vechkov.
one final assessment
Okay,
of the alignment of the progress and
all
its
right.
systems
Yeah,
before
apparently
bridging the
I
gap for contact and
unintentionally
capture.
smaller the sound. Very sorry. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so here you can see the final approach, 200 meters has already begin, and he'll going to
Once
command
again,
the
Sergei
spacecraft to
Kuznetsov
go nearer and nearer until 30
using
meters,
the
and after that
joystick
it will go
flying
into the
progress
holding patterns
manually through the
to
backup
check to do
telerobotic
another
control
final check
rendezvous
system
system,
before
the Toru system.
slowly and finally being
This being
captured
employed
by
in the
the
wake of the
International Space Station,
inability to
the
deploy
docking
one of
system
two cores orbiting rendezvous
via the
antennas,
Poisk zenith
indicating progress's
module
separation
there.
from the
So
upper stage of the
while
Soyuz
that
booster following
holding pattern
launch on
happens,
Sunday.
I will
All of the other
explain a little
Progress
bit further
systems are rock
what
solid
we are
as
also
the
looking
Progress
here.
makes a slow, methodical
And
approach to the 30-meter mark for
okay,
one additional moment of station keeping.
Okay,
Exit
so
from
this is
check
what you're looking right
before
now.
we continue to press in.
Okay, nice. So you can see the RCS, the reaction control system thruster is currently firing, as you can see there. Awesome. And forgot to mention to you that at the back side of the of this Progress MS spacecraft, just like its Soyuz MS counterpart, apologies, just like the Soyuz MS spacecraft co- counterpart, the could part, it does also have the reboost thruster burn on the back side of it, on the uh, around the around the service module to properly boost the International Space Station, the ISS, to the proper alignment, and also to boost the International Space Station altitude a bit higher, or just let's say for just in case it goes down due to the drastic sun
At Poisk,
activity and
docking port
whatnot
is
with
right
the solar
above the
flare that
center of
can
the
cause the
crosshairs. In this view, we can show
Earth's
television
atmosphere
cameras in
to
progress.
go
Now less
way
than
more
100 meters
higher
away,
than
the
usual
vehicle
with
is
its
posting a
density
rate
around the
increase of
space
a meter per
that
second.
could further bring the drag down to Earth. So usually this is what is it for? Um, Others than Soyuz MS and also Progress MS spacecraft also does the boost burn. Also another that involved is also Crew Dragon. There's also Crew Dragon, Cargo Dragon, spacecraft by SpaceX, and also sometimes and also recently in the recent edition is the HTV dash X. That one spacecraft, even though it only has one flight, it does in some ways and others also involved in the ISS reboost up to the altitude a little bit higher to maintain basically a little bit higher, just maintain to the altitude
So
where
far,
it's
so good.
going right now,
Progress
around, if I remember, around 400
resumed
kilometers
towards the docking
circular.
port.
That's why it
In
can
front of the
orbits around
controls,
the Earth
LAKEY could
45 minutes
using
on
the
daylight and also for
backup rocket
45
system
minutes
called
on
Monroe to
nighttime.
fly Progress
O-
in.
Okay, and also as you
Again,
can hear
we
from the
raise
NASA
and
commentary,
hold at
the
about
Toru
30
system right now
meters
is currently still working.
to enable the use of
Toru
the
actually
vehicle
stands
as a
for
direct motion control center
Robotically
outside of
Operational
Monroe for
Rendezvous
final
Unit. So in case you want to
assessment
know,
and
it
alignment
has
of
like kind of
Progress to
the
the docking
joystick.
port.
Yeah, it has two joysticks to be controlled together. There is like axis and also y axis. If I remember, the y axis involving the uh, ver- vertical up down move, while on the horizontal side, the x-axis involves the left right movement. So that's why it has like these two joystick to be controlled together, of course, for precise and also fine
And
and
we've
also for fine
received a
tuning,
report
so
from
it can
Ocean
properly
Mission
goes
Control Center
into
that
the
we
docking
will
mode. And as you
dock
can see,
holding
it's
at the 30
still
meter mark
going up.
because of the precision of
Okay.
the flying of the Progress.
Yeah,
It's
and also because of the precision, of course,
targeted
it
right down the
in
middle
this
of the
case
docking port.
the
So
cosmonaut
we'll press in
himself that
and look
actually
for
piloted
additional
this
safety capabilities
Progress
in the regard.
MS-33 spacecraft on, on the on the arrival mod, Sergei Kuznetsov, he has to be very careful about piloting this stuff. If he didn't, if he missed just a little bit of it, it could possibly tumble the International Space Station into slight uncontrollable move, or in the worst case, could be around the era, if I remember, where Space Station used to orbit around the Earth. And what happened is that because the Taurus system, before that, there's like a predecessor system. It has some kind of unacceptable latency, few seconds of delay, and be, and the cosmonaut involved tries to, and also I believe astronaut tries to pilot that spacecraft. But what happened is that because of that delay, it accidentally hit the mirror space station at slightly higher velocities than what it should, and instead of capturing the
Yeah,
Mir space
well,
station literally
progress
just tumble like crazy.
as it moves
Yeah. So that's why
methodically
that's
and
that's why in this
steadily,
case the
we'll
Taurus system
look up into
actually
the
already been designed
cosmos
in
and
mind, so
see
it
the
has
docking port
almost
just
near
above the
instantaneous
crosshairs.
uh
The docking
or
target
basically let's
is
just say
about
it's
right on the
real-time
crosshair right
communication
now.
at this point.
27 meters
Even
separating progress from Poisk,
yeah, even
closing at a rate of about
even
10
just
meters a
slight amount
second.
of latency will not be very acceptable in this case because it's basically can become life or death situation. And fortunately about the case that I mentioned before, fortunately everyone is safe inside the Mir space station and it can be controlled thanks to the astronauts and also cosmonauts um, practices using the star constellation as a guidance to guide the Mir station back to the to the proper alignment of the Mir spacecraft as usual. And as you can see, there's also a bit interesting system, and you're looking at the sort of like an analog TV systems, but being transmitted using the digital system
The
nowadays.
progress docking mechanism
How
is
awesome is
powered
that?
up
Black and white color there,
and all positions
grayscale
go for
as well, if
docking.
you really like to call it.
Should occur just a
And
few
as you
minutes
can
from
see,
now.
there's like sort of like a spinning,
15 meters separating
spinning
progress
something,
from Poisk.
right? On the around left side, there's like the KON word in Cyrillic. If you look at that, it's spinning. It also works not only as the gyroscope for for the International
Progress
Space Station, so
was
it can
will
properly balance
pause
itself, but
its approach at
also
about the
sort of
3
working
meter
like
mark.
an
One
antenna to
final confidence
point
test
the, in this case,
before
to point the
going
Progress
again.
MS-33
The proper
spacecraft
press in for contact after
properly into the
ignition.
alignment. And that's why it can be
A smooth
communicated. And that's
Silkova
why Sergei
suit diamond
Kuchvechkov,
shaped
in this
docking
case, the
target
cosmonaut that
is set
actually
for the crosshairs.
piloted this
Progress being flown
Progress
by Sergei
MS-33 spacecraft
Kudryavtsov
using
remain
the Taurus
control
system
column
can
in the
properly
zenith
communicate
service
this
module.
and using this properly. And you can see the alignment system, the sort of like the T shape there, it's been used to properly look there and to see if these properly can be captured.
6 meters
Eh,
away.
Okay, 6 meters away and getting ready in. Okay, looks like we're not going to be that long. I'm not going to chat too much. Let's just watch this in real life, real time, shall we? And here we go. Okay, how many meters left? And looks like we are looking at the,
Progress is braking at the 3 meter mark.
okay, three
One
meters
final
mark,
assessment being
two
made.
marks, 2 meters, 1 meter, zero. Does it mean any capture there? Okay, looks like it. Almost on the approach. 4 meters. Yeah, just to make sure the crosshair is aligned, that so that it can properly captured by the Poisk zenith module on the capture system there. From there, we will see soft capture at first, followed by the
And you
hard
heard
capture,
the Russian flight
where
controllers tell
when
the
all of
interpreter
the
to Kudryavtsov
screws and also bolts
to
involved
go ahead and
finally
continue the manual
capture the
flying of Progress
Progress
at
MS-33
docking.
spacecraft into its proper alignment. And so the crew inside the
Good
International Space
alignment
Station can
with the
finally
docking target that is shown to
retrieve
you right at the
all of
center of
the
the
items
crosshairs.
needed for continuing this International Space Station mission here. And yeah, I don't think we are very, very long anymore looking at the International Space Station operational. And looks like it. Looks like we have soft capture. Soft capture. Let's hear it. Or 3 meters. Okay, still not yet. 3 meters.
This view
And
from station
let's.
cameras looking at the forward docking port
Oh,
extended
almost
above the
close.
progress
Very
as it
interesting. This
approaches
is
the
the
final
3 meters
position.
in from the Progress MS-33 spacecraft to the International Space Station. And looks like the goal pole is now allowed. And now. it's approaching again using the thruster below of the around the below the serv the how do I say service module, if I'm very correct there, using the service module to do its job, the rest of it. And as you can see, interesting, there's like spinning there. It acts as a gyroscope and also at the same time for communicating to the antenna between
Progress
antenna of the
losing
Progress
a couple of meters here.
33
We can
spacecraft
see
and
a line of
also
contact
the
with Kepler.
International Space Station, uplink and downlink. You know, upload and download if we like to use our common term these days, using the internet terms. Okay, and getting ready in should be soft capture. Okay, okay. Looks like it. Awesome.
Contact
We have contact
and capture. Docking
and soft
confirmed
cap. Okay,
at 8:40 a.m.
okay. Soft
Central Time,
capture
9:40
confirmed.
a.m. Eastern Time.
Okay, and communication no longer needed. That's why you see the antenna no longer spinning anymore. All right, interesting. Interesting system you can see there. Once it already finally. All right, and looks like Sergei Kuchveshkov uh, training
Sergei
on the
Kud
previous
Sverchkov waxed it in.
Progress
Perfect manual
64
docking of
ISS
the
mission
Progress
before.
and the
Looks
full
like
cargo system. The Poisk
his
vehicle
training being
docking
put
again
into the test,
occurring at
and he
8:40 a.m.
succeed to
Central
properly
Time,
bring the Progress
9:40 a.m.
MS-33
Eastern
spacecraft
Time,
into the
as the
into the
International Space
International
Station
Space Station
approaches
via the
262
Poisk
miles
zenith
over the
module.
border between
Uh,
Kazakhstan
Congratulations,
and
and it's now
Mongolia.
already arrived safely. And just like I said, the cosmonauts training looks like already being put into test, and it's
We'll now stand
successful.
by for the relative
Nice.
motion between the two vehicles to dampen out before the
Okay.
retraction of that forward docking probe will
Okay.
pull the two docking interfaces flush against one another, enabling the Progress hooks to close for a hard mate.
Okay. So, like you have heard,
And
uh,
the
s-
retraction of the docking probe is now underway.
okay, looks like the retraction is on the way, in preparation for full capture. Okay, hard mating mode on the Progress MS-33 spacecraft, into the Poisk Zenith module here, as you can see. All right, very interesting. You can see there. Okay, you're looking at the very visual right now. Nice. Huh. All right, looks like we might crossing into the nighttime here in the International Space Station. Remember, remember, every 45 minutes, International Space Station will change its day from daytime to nighttime, and vice versa, from nighttime to daytime. So yeah, it experiences uh, a few many times of its uh, mo- morning and night cycle, day and night cycle, just to be precise here. Okay, and as you can see, it really catches into the uh,
This view from the Progress television
it
camera,
it really properly
and you can see very
hitting to
clearly the
the
docking target
crosshair there.
was part of the tool kit that was used by Sergei Kud Sverchkov to manually fly in the Progress for its manual docking using the backup
All right,
Monroe
looks like
telerobotically operated rendezvous system.
looks like we've stretched again.
Once again, docking occurring flawlessly with the backup system at 8:40 a.m. Central Time, 9:40 a.m. Eastern Time, as Progress and the International
All
Space
right.
Station flew 262 miles over the border between Kazakhstan and Mongolia.
All right. So that's what we want to hear. Awesome. It's flying between the border of Kazakhstan and also Mongolia. I hope that's what I hear correctly. And this is the inside the Koryov Mission Control Center,
Once
back in
the
the
Progress
Moscow,
hooks are
Russia.
closed to form a hard mate,
Here you can see.
the process of conducting leak checks
All
at
right.
both sides of the docking interface will get underway.
Okay. So
Kud
next.
Sverchkov, Sergei Mikheyev, and Andrei Fedyayev will be in charge of conducting those leak checks on the station side of the docking interface
All right.
before the hatch is opened to the Progress several hours from now.
All right. So they will also going to conduct the air leak check as well to ensure that
And we
the
have word
International
that the
Space
Progress
Station will
hooks are
not
driving. We're standing by for
losing
that to be
the
completed,
losing
and
the
docking
air
will have
itself
been
and
achieved
also
with a
whatnot.
hard mate.
Okay, getting ready in. Let's hear the call out. If there's any heart mating confirm, aka heart capture properly confirm, then it means the mission properly starts here. Let's see. All right, here you go. All right, so let's see. How's the mission will going on? And meanwhile, we don't have anything to do.
And we have confirmation that the hooks are closed, the Progress hooks now closed. We have a hard mate between Progress and the Poisk module. The uncrewed cargo ship has reached its destination for the delivery of 2.7 tons of food, fuel, and supplies.
Okay, so that's what we're hearing right now. Proper confirmation of the heart mating, aka heart capture, as the hooks already closing in
So as you take a
of
look
the
once again
Progress
at the
MS
Russian Mission
spacecraft.
Control Center on
So
the
that's very
outskirts of
interesting.
Moscow, the Progress was launched on Sunday morning atop a Soyuz 2.1A booster from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. 8 minutes and 45 seconds after launch, the Progress separated from the upper stage of the three-stage Soyuz booster. All of the solar array uh, mechanisms and the navigational antennas deployed, with the exception of one of two Core's automated rendezvous antennas, which failed to deploy. Troubleshooting efforts were not successful over the past 2 days, resulting in the decision to have Sergei Kud-Sverchkov manually fly in the Progress from its station-keeping position towards a very smooth and uneventful link-up to the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. That docking occurred at 8:40 a.m. Central Time, 9:40 a.m. Eastern Time. It was a perfect manual docking executed by Kud-Sverchkov, the Expedition 74 commander. With that, leak checks will be conducted over the next several hours. The hatch to Progress will be open to enable the Russian crew members on board the complex to begin unloading the first of some 2.7 tons of food, fuel, and supplies for the International Space Station. With that, we'll wrap up our coverage for today. Progress 94 has docked successfully to the Poisk module at the International Space Station. Keep up with all of the activities on board the station at www.nasa.gov/station. For now, we'll sign off. This is Mission Control Houston.
Okay, so NASA has already stopped their stream, and I believe Roscosmos might already stop their stream earlier on, so that you can hear the beep there. All right, so not so much else I would like to tell you because this is pretty uneventful, fortunately. And fortunately, nothing's bad happening for now. And the Progress MS-33 spacecraft has successfully hard captured into the International Space Station um, via the Poisk zenith module. So that's a very good sign there. And yeah, and next to what they are going to do is that over several few hours they are going to do some air leak checks to see if there's any atmospheric air, artificial atmospheric air being leaked out from the International Space Station, just to ensure everything is safe, and also to ensure that the crew can still live and survive into the mission itself. Okay, and yeah, and also what I will. Oh, okay, 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 okay. Apparently, yeah, I was. Okay, okay. I was actually correct. There is actually the events here where it does mention the Toru system. Yeah, back then in 90 it says here briefly in 1997, Toru was used during the manual docking attempt of Progress MS-34 to Mir, which resulted in a collision that damaged the Spectre module and caused a depressurization event. The system was subsequently used to dock Progress M35 after a failure of Mir's onboard computer. So yeah, you can see the Spectre module solar array really not good, and unfortunately there is depressurization event happening, but they are able to keep it under control. So yeah, you can say it's pretty unfortunate. That's why since then the Toru system has already been updated, so it provide near instantaneous and also almost zero latency, so it can so the cosmonaut can properly guide it to the International Space Station safely. And yeah, as like I mentioned today, the cosmonaut Sergei Kuznetsov, this guy you see here on this picture, is actually the one that actually commanded the final approach of the Progress MS-33 spacecraft into the International Space Station using this, what you can see on the joystick there. There's like uh, there's like the horizontal and also vertical adjustment there that they can use to properly adjust it up down and also left right using it. That's why there is two system there. So yeah, it looks like his training on the ISS Progress 64 mission 30 missions ago looks like it's working, and he he's finally able to put it into the practical use. So yeah, that's pretty good as well. Yeah, and forgot to mention before we end this mission as well. The whole of the total mass of this mission on the Progress MS-33, it it carries around 2.5 almost two around 2.509 metric tons, or around 5,531 pounds if you're still speaking in imperial unit. So yeah, you want to know what's the how do I say, the mass fraction? Here is it. The pressurized supplies, it has around 1.211 metric tons, or around 2,670 pounds if you're still speaking in imperial unit. But from now on, if I mention the pound, you already know it's in imperial unit. And if I don't say if I say kilograms, obviously it's in metric system, which what we are actually very very familiarized with it this day. So yeah, so the including on the portion is 619 kilogram, or around 1,365 pounds of food, 393 kilograms of or around 866 pounds of equipment. This one to do some repair and maintenance, and also presumably at some point after few launches of the cargo missions itself as well, they are also going to do spacewalk at some point. Not yet 100% determined when. I heard last time it should be around April, but yeah, let's wait for the final decision. And 135 kilograms, or around or 298 pounds of hygiene supplies. Yeah, something you need to do to use to clean yourself up. 52 kilograms, or 115 pounds of equipment for uh, lots of scientific experiments. 12 kilograms, or 26 pounds of medical equipment, very important as well. And for the fuel, bring it it brought around 828 kilograms, or 1,825 pounds. Drinking water is Very nice, 420 kilograms or 930 pounds. And finally, oxygen gas, very important because you really need to breathe, is 50 kilograms or 110 pounds. So that's the mass fraction that you need to know about the Progress MS-33 spacecraft. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching. There's not much else I would like to say, but yeah, thank you. It doesn't matter if you're new viewers here or if you're existing, aka my subscribers viewers. Thank you so much for coming in. And yeah, I will see if tomorrow I don't have any problem. I will also going to try to stream the Celeste Leo PNT mission. That one from what I can get, it's essentially a GNSS, aka um guide guidance navigational satellite system, augmentation satellites. That one sort of like, imagine it's like something for Starlink, but instead of using internet, you are able to use it alongside with all of um, other GNSS, or aka just like we know this day, GPS satellite system, okay, out there. It's being used in tandem with it, so you can use it for whatever you need. For example, you need to track somewhere else, you can also use that system. Okay, but yeah, if I remember, Celeste is basically like a companion system for Galileo GNSS as well, operated by the European Space Agency. Yeah, European Space Agency. So we might see that pretty soon tomorrow. Yeah, I hope I can do that less than 24 hours from now. So I shall see you soon for that. So thank you so much everybody for watching. And this is my closing remark. I'm Daniel Suga, your host today for the Progress MS-33 spacecraft arrival and also docking to the International Space Station, successfully done by via the Toru system, the telerobotic telerobotic operational rendezvous unit, piloted on the last 200 meters approach to the International Space Station by Roscosmos cosmonaut Sergei Kuchvechkov. I hope I pronounced this correctly. Yeah, because my tongue is pretty challenging to pronounce this. So yeah, successfully captured to the International Space Station via the Poisk zenith module. So yeah, that's a very good sign, and let's hope it is for long-term success as well for the crew and for the mission overall. So thank you so much everybody for watching. I'll see you soon for the Celeste Leo-PNT mission. That one will be launched on board Electron rocket by Rocket Lab, but the stream will not be using Rocket Lab itself, but rather from the European Space Agency themselves. So it's going to be a combinational approach. So we are going to see from the ESA side of stream instead of typical Rocket Lab. So thank you so much everybody for watching, and take care. Goodbye, and see you soon, and stay healthy. Alright, that's it. Nothing else to watch. And go. Let's have a rest. And yeah, I would like to have rest for myself tonight. So see you soon. Good night.